Hey guys! And in today's video, I am going to be reading another part of the Ingo book by Helen Dunmore. Last time, we were at page 71 to 76. Today, we're reading page 77 to 82. So, also guys, in some of my videos, in my Roblox and in my Minecraft videos, they are a bit laggy. But please excuse that. For now, that's literally the best I have. I will try to improve in the future. But let's begin with the Ingo book. Was in the olden days. The Tudors are the Victorians or something. So what makes you think the Mer are living in the olden days? Asked Pharaoh, laying a faint, sarcastic, emphasis on the last two words. Of course we're living in the olden days, I want to say. You sit on rocks and you have a golden comb in one hand and a mirror in the other. And you sing all day and comb your hair and wait for sailors to come past so you can tempt them into the sea. That's not exactly 21st century behavior, is it? So that's two things you have got wrong, says Pharaoh, almost purring with satisfaction. One, I'm male, not female. So how could I be a mermaid anyway? Anatomically impossible. Two, all that scaly tail, hair combing, mermaid and merboy and merman stuff comes from humans. It's got nothing to do with the way we live. It's all up in the air. So what do you call yourself? I asked curiously. Pharaoh's eyes darkened. His smile disappears. I can't tell you that, he says. We don't talk about it to air people. But you can call us the Mer if you want. That's the word we use when we're talking in the air. Mer, mir, more, mir. Any of those will do. He shrugs his shoulders as if the whole subject bores him. The sun is coming out more and more strangely, now burning up the mist. Everything is clear again, and Pharaoh is as clear and solid as the shape of the rock. I glance sideways at his tail. I don't want to stare too much. Now that the mist is burning off, his tail is drying too. It doesn't shine as much. I wonder if he should dip in the water. There are patches of sand on his skin. Pharaoh catches me looking and raises his eyebrow again. I feel myself blush. Do you think that we are speaking Mer? Really? I ask quickly. I listen to the words as they come out of my mouth. They sound the same as always. They don't seem to make different shapes. Not full Mer, says Pharaoh. But you have got a bit of Mer in you. You must have. Or you wouldn't be here. It means we can speak to each other. But if we were speaking full Mer, you would be able to understand what he's saying. And Pharaoh nods at the gill that's reading the air above us, screaming out goal abuse. What's he saying? Think of all the swear words you know and then double them. I stare up at the gill. It tilts its wings to balance itself more comfortably on the air and stares back when its cold yellow eye. It opens its beak wide and lets out another valley. They don't like people talking They don't like people looking at them, says Pharaoh. Can you talk to it? Talking's a waste of time. The mood he's in, he doesn't like me talking to you. Why not? Gills are like that. They think it's safer to keep separate. Humans are bad news to most of them. Oh. Pharaoh watches a tiny spider crab heal itself up a strand of blender rack. Can you hear what he's saying? He asks. No. You must be able to. If he weren't in the air. But I can't live out of the air. You only think you can, says Pharaoh. Listen to the gill. Listen, really listen. I strain my ears, but all I can catch is the usual cry as the hurrying gill swoops low, skimming the water, then soars again. You were looking for Connor, says Pharaoh after a pause. Yes, I was. I say slowly, realizing that I haven't thought of him since I saw Pharaoh. I can't believe that I forgot I was searching for Connor. I told you. He's with my sister. He's quite safe. But where are they? Pharaoh shifts a little. Out of the water, the tail is strong and smooth, but also a little clumsy. He puts his weight on his arm and moves himself forward again, so that he can look over the edge of the rock. They'll be in the water, he says, somewhere down there. I look where he points and I see that the flat sand has gone. The tide is bubbling around our rock. Already the water is deep. How has it come in so quickly without me noticing? How has it come in so quickly? I repeated out loud. It's only the tide, says Pharaoh easily. It always comes in like this. But it was low tide a few minutes ago. Was it? I will have to swim back to the rocks. I've got to go back now before it gets too deep. I'll have to be careful. The incoming tide can be dangerous. It can swipe you against a rock and bruise you, or worse, keep you in the middle of the cove and swim straight for the shore. Where are you going? Asked Pharaoh as I stand and pore over the edge of the rock to see if he is safe to jump. Jumping's quicker than climbing down, and the water is rising fast. I have got to get back. I will get caught by the tide. But your brother's still here, says Pharaoh casually. My body freezes. Slowly, I turn back to him. How could I have forgotten Connor again? How could I ever think of getting myself home safe and leaving him behind? Where is he? I'll take you to him, says Pharaoh. Take my hand, Sapphire, and I will take you to him. Pharaoh is poised on the edge of the rock now. His stringed seal tail hangs above the water, and his arms are braced as if he is ready to push off from the rock and plunge in his face and mouth of the cove, where the fresh water of the new tide is pouring in. I know in every bone of my body that Pharaoh's not going to take me in to the safe sand. At the back of the cove where I can climb up to find the path home, He's going to take me out into deep water, beyond the mouth of the cove, but I'm not allowed to go there. It's too dangerous. I can't, I say. I have got to get back. Without Connor, says Pharaoh sarcastically. If I knew that my sister was in the air, I would never leave her. I would never go home without her. Do you mean that Connor's in danger? Pharaoh looks at me, but says nothing. He's testing me. I know he is. If Connor were really in any danger, how could Pharaoh just sit here on this rock and tell me about it, without doing anything to help? People don't act like that. People, humans. I glance down at Pharaoh's curved, powerful tail. I can hardly see the place where human flesh ends and mer flesh begins. One part of Pharaoh seems to melt into another. Pharaoh catches my glance. It must be strange to be divided the way you are, he says with a tinge of pity in his voice. Divided? You know, goes on Pharaoh, looking embarrassed. The way you do when you have to point out that someone's got a splodge of ketchup on their chin. You know the way you are. Cleft, he points at my feet. Must feel strange having two of those. But it's you that's divided, not me. You're half human and half? Snaps Pharaoh. There you go again with your air thinking. I'm not half of anything. I'm woolly, mer. He says it proudly, as if being mer is like being royal. And he glances down at his tail with satisfaction. Connor is with my sister, says Pharaoh. Now are you coming? I have no choice. No matter how deep the shelf that drops away at the mouth of the cove, no matter how fast the tide pours in, it's only Pharaoh who can take me to Connor. And how can I go back home without Connor? I'll come with you, I say. Good, says Pharaoh. But you have to leave your air thinking here on this rock. We don't swim as you do, half up in the air. He mimics someone doggy paddling along with their face stuck up out of the water. I can't breathe underwater. Don't even think about breathing. Breathing is what you do in the air. We mer do things differently. Hold my wrist, just here. Clasp your fingers around me, tighter than that. When I dive, you dive. Don't try to hold your breath. Don't even think about breathing. You must let it all out. All your breath. Hold my wrist. You won't drown while you're with me. Pharaoh's wrist feels warm and strong. It feels like that word he says so mockingly, human. But I look down at his strong, smooth tail. It twitches, as if it already feels the water and it wants to be in it. When I dive, says Pharaoh again, you dive. I hold his wrist tight. I look down at the water, which has risen so fast that it's slipping at the rock, less than a meter below us. I look at Pharaoh and see that he has shot. Alright guys, so that's it. That was page 77 to page 82. I hope you guys enjoyed today's reading. And before we end today's video, hit that subscribe button and hit those notifications. Tell me guys down in the comments what you want to see on this channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.